In today's video, we're using a variety of ways of changing our journaling pages. This is Mini Challenge in the Challenge 2.2. Stay tuned. Hi everybody, it's Julie, and we are here with a Friday Mini Challenge in the Challenge. So our February Mini Challenge in the Challenge will be on Fridays. And so this is Mini Challenge in the Challenge 2.2. That is February, and it's the second one. Okay, so it's the second Mini Challenge in the Challenge of February. We are going to be using our regular papers, okay? So the next thing that I needed to do for this journal for Shelly was I need to make add in the regular papers, and then I've also chosen my form papers. So what we are going to do here is you are going to pick 4 and 4, okay? So you're going to pick at least 8 pages that you are going to stencil. You're going to decorate the pages, and these are regular pages. They're not cardstock. Okay, so they're the regular. They can be your coffee dyed pages. I have some noisy paper here, and we are going to decorate these pages, but make it so that they still are able to be journaling pages. Okay, so 4 and 4, so 8 total. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 4 of these. Of course, I'm doing 2 signatures, and with my ledgers and forms, I like to have if I do 3, then it's okay to have 1 in here and 1 in here, and then 1 in here, 1 in here. But when I do 2, I like to have, it's just my OCD, I like to have like a ledger paper and a ledger paper, a little ledger, a little. If I have a ledger, it's going to have a ledger. It might be 2 different kinds, because I do have the big ledger that folds out also. But for this time, I'm going to be using these ledgers. I have graph paper that has lined paper on the other side, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to use that. I have some noisy paper. So these are, I'm going to do 1 of each of these, but you can see I have 2 of them here because I'm going to be doing 2 signatures. So just know that I'll probably be just repeating or doing something similar. And then I'm going to have so I have my composition book pages, okay, composition book pages side by side. These work so that your lines are going in this direction. This is wide ruled, and okay, so I have 4 of those for each signature. I'll be working with 4 of these, okay? So my 4 regular papers, yours might be that you have 4 coffee dyed papers. Now remember, your mini challenge in the challenge, it can either be for the challenge this month, so for your February challenge, or you can be making these for an upcoming challenge or for something else, okay? Some other things you might have is like book page, you know, just other types of regular paper, you guys. This is like office supply and school supply paper this time. Okay, so no cardstock. You're using office supply or school supply paper. Yes, it could be colored paper, but it needs to be like copy paper. Yes, your paper can be dyed. Okay, so it can be coffee dyed or tea dyed or avocado dyed. Okay, and then we are going to be decorating these, but the idea being that we don't want to add a whole lot of bulk, and we don't want to disturb the area that is going to have the writing area, the writing space, okay? So we still want this to be journaling paper. Okay, so 4 and 4. 4 regular lined and 4 other. So like your form papers would be perfect for this. Okay, so my book is 9 inches. So I'm going to cut my composition paper is just a little bit bigger, and I want to go, well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered actually. I could have, on the next one, I'll just cut it. Okay, so I'm cutting 2 at a time here. Okay, and then I know that I am between 5.5, right around 5.5 is, actually this works out good because now I have straight lines there, so I can make a notebook or something out of this. Okay, so there's one set of 2. And I'll cut the other one, and just know that I will also be doing a set for my back pages. So again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this rounded edge off because that gives me a nice edge for note paper. And what I'm going to do, if I do not use this in this journal, I am going to go ahead, fold this over, staple it, and now I have some scratch paper. For right now, we'll save it for this journal. But after that, I'm going to fold mine over. I am not saving things from one journal to another. That is one of the things I'm really trying to do. Yeah, if it doesn't match the journal, like some of these little square things totally they don't go along with anything that I want to give to, you know, my 17-year-old granddaughter, some of the sayings and stuff. And so this one I'm going to cut a little bit smaller. Okay, so those I might put if I have a project that I have coming up, or you might see that in Happy Mail. Okay, so those are cut and ready. These are going to be smaller. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm going to have one for now and one for later. And I'm going to have one for now and one for later. One for now, one for later. Otherwise, this video will be way too long. Okay. Okay, for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this at 9 inches. Okay, that's one of the things that I usually do, is I usually cut my ledger down so that it can go in here in the right direction. So I'm going to cut it right at the top. I do like to make sure I have the number 1. But I'm okay with whatever we're going to end up with down here. So I'm going to cut it at the 9 inches. Okay. And I'll be saving these while I'm working on this. If I don't use them, heck, they'll go in one of those little scrap things too. Probably. Okay. So this I'm going to go ahead and fold just like this. It got down to, went right across the number 39. So you have 38 spaces this way. I am going to go ahead. I'm going to fold this and make sure that my letters are up. That I'm in the right orientation. Okay. I know that my book is 9 inches. And so I'm going to go ahead and just fold this in half. I am going to have to either cut it or rip it at the 5.5. And then this, we have lines again, and I'm thinking that I'm going to want to, well, I messed up the bottom down here, so we're going to clean up that, and hopefully we'll be able to clean that up because it's thin paper. Okay. And so we'll go this way and poke myself in the eye. Okay, now I could go ahead and fold this up and make a pocket out of it. You can see if I'd still had that area, you would have a great pocket. But I don't think with all the pockets and all the special effects that I've been making for this journal, I don't think I need another pocket as much as I just need some place for her to write. So this one is going to be like this, and you all know that I like to add graph paper. I think that it's fun, a fun addition to a journal for projects, okay, for projects or drawing, that kind of thing. Okay, so this is for later, right? No, I get four. Sorry. So 1, 2, 3. There's my four different papers and my 4 journaling papers. Again, this is where you would have your copy papers or your either your copy papers or like your dyed papers, that kind of thing. Okay, so one of the things that I like to do is, you know, just adding a washi tape or a glitter tape. Oh, wow. Don't buy these, you guys. They just disintegrate. Oh my gosh. And I don't think those were dollar ones. They might have been. Okay, so I have this right here. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little washi right to the edge. Okay. That gives me that fun gold. You see the gold dots? We've been using gold in this journal, so that's kind of fun. And then I'm going to also add some of my favorite washi. Okay, so you need to do at least 4 different types of when you're adding, boy, Julie, when you are decorating your pages, you need to use at least 4 different things. Okay, so washi would be one. Okay, so there I've added washi to this front, and I've added washi back here. I think that it's also going to be kind of fun to add some washi here. So all 8 of these pages need to have some type of decoration that you have added to it. Okay. Oh, look, we're at the end of that roll. I have more, but it's every one that I use, it's like we're getting closer to not having any. Okay, I'm going to bring this piece over and I'm just going to add it here. Just because I don't want to waste anything. Okay, so that would be enough for this, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little bit of an edge. Okay. Again, just to be a little different. So on this one, I will put my edge up here. And when I go and make the other one, I'll put my edge probably down below. And I'm going to staple it. Oh, you know what? I didn't check my size. Oh, well, this is very sad. It happens. You know what? This counts as an edge. Ripping your edge counts as you have changed the paper. Okay, I'm going to save that. Okay, so I changed the paper. I'm within the area. I am just going to go ahead and add my edge to this right up here. Let's see, maybe from... I'm still going to add it. But just ripping your edge, that changed your paper. I want you to try, and at least one of the things, have it be something you haven't done before. I haven't added an edge like this onto paper like this before. I'm a little concerned about this over here. So I am going to add a little fabric tack. I think out of my glue choices that I have sitting out here right now, that's going to be my best one. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. But there I have changed my paper, and I'm not done yet though. Okay, put this down. Okay. So I have some worn lipstick. And I'm just going to go ahead and distress the edge. And I'm doing this inside edge because that's because of the glue. Okay? But just distressing this edge, and that changes this paper. Okay? It changes the paper. Yay! Okay? So we'll put that aside and let it dry. And okay, so just adding a little bit of color. It's kind of fun. So another thing that you can do that will change your paper but won't really add a lot of bulk is to use stencils. So I have this star stencil. I got this at Dollar Tree. That's cool packaging right there. Okay, so I can take this and line up my stars. I want them on here, but they can kind of be going off the page. Let's see, like that. Okay, if there's some that you don't want to show up, you can go ahead and cover them with painter's tape is one of the things that I've done. Okay, then I'm going to just come down here and grab these three. Okay. If you stay more towards the center, as opposed to the edge, then you won't end up with the edge showing up. Okay, so there is another way. We've used a star stencil and just used parts of the stars. Okay, so we have washi tape, we have stars. And so another thing that I like to do is to use edging. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cover up my, so edging using a trim or a fiber. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and so I'm going to give you a bunch of different, show you a bunch of different ways, and then you can pick your at least 4 ways. Okay. And on these you want to try and get the center on your glue. Okay. Okay, so there's that. And another thing that you can do is stamp. So you've seen us stamp before. I think we'll just take that really cool man in the moon. I love that stamp. And if you want it dark, then take your first impression and put that down. Okay, if you want it faint, you can go ahead and take your second impression. Okay, so, and I like the combination of 2 things happening here instead of just the stamp or just the edge. I like the 2 things happening. Now when I put these in, I will probably put them in together like this, okay, so that you have area to go ahead and you like have pages to write. Okay, so I think we need to stamp up here, and I think we'll stamp the phases of the moon. I love that stamp too. We'll just pop it on the other side here. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm in the right direction. Okay, so we are just decorating this, yet keeping it so that it is still going to be able to be used for journaling. So I'm going to go ahead and put that over here with our one that's drying. Okay, so next I have the cool ledger paper, and I think with this one I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, let's do this. Okay, so we have the holes here, and I've found that it's kind of fun to go ahead and thread through the holes. I don't go through every single hole. This is a little thicker than what I wanted. So let's see what other, oh, we have a silver. You know what, we will, oh, we have some Georgia eyelash trim. Okay, this will be perfect for this. Use my scissors that if they get ruined. Oh yeah, you guys, I did retrieve the scissors out of the trash can. I know some of you asked, did you get the scissors out of the trash can? I did. Okay, so I call this Georgia eyelash trim because Georgia gave it to me. And I love it. Okay, and then you come over here, and because it's wired, so this is a wired eyelash trim, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up and just use the wire to attach it. Okay, so I've done this before. You've seen me do it with ribbon and just tying a knot on either end that ended up being bigger than the hole to hold it. But there we go. And so that is adding Georgia eyelash trim. And I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, and on this, I'll be doing the same thing for the other signature. I really like that. Okay, so that gives me that edge. Love it. Okay, so next I have my regular ledger, and I have the numbers here. I don't want to lose those numbers. So this might be a good one to think. So we'll switch it up to the graph paper, and with the graph paper, I'm going to bring in a different type of stamp. So I don't want to take up too much of the area. I have one of these stamps that this would go onto your block, but I like to just use it just like this. So I do have my paper underneath here. Okay, so it's just a texture stamp. And I'm going to just go around the edge with that. And that is that. Okay. Could do the same thing on this side, but I think what we'll do on this side is I have this really cool textured let's put it like this. Okay, so I have this stencil, and so this will give us another, I don't know where the lid went to that. Okay. Again, the worn lipstick, and you can just go ahead and go around. You could just go on the edge and get just the look of the edge, but there you can make your own decorative paper. Okay, so again, if you have ugly paper, this is another thing that you can do to ugly paper, is add a stencil in there. So we've got it really light, we've got that. And again, I will be doing the same thing on the one for the other. Okay. So those are a couple of different stencils. We have this large side over here, and I have a couple of interesting trims. Now, I haven't tried this with okay, so here we have this. This was Happy Mail that I was given. I think this gold will be really cool with this journal. What do you think about that? And so let's see if there's going to be enough. We're going to go ahead and cut all the way down this. I'll put the teal away. I might use the teal for a home decor project that I have for the guest room. Okay, so if we fold this in half, we're right, oh my gosh, we just have enough. Okay, just like barely enough. Okay, so I'm going to use my fabric tack to put this down, but then I'm going to also staple it. Okay. I'm hoping that the fabric tack will help to keep this like stable. It might be worth, I should have probably washi taped the other side. To help with the stability. Okay, let's go ahead, put this down. Okay, so I'm going to have this in 2 places in the journal. I will have that. And actually, I think that this would be a good one for the front of each signature. You know what, though? It's not really going to show off. I may end up coming in and refolding this so that this comes off the edge. Okay. We'll see. We'll see how that works when I actually put it into the journal. So again, I'll be doing the same thing on the other journal, or on the other ledger piece. If you're here at the premiere, I'm waving. Hi! Say hello to the puppies. Hi, puppies! So when you're watching this, Holly will have gone home to her new home. And so, yeah, pretty exciting. We only have Olive at our house. And, of course, Chip and Wiley and Midnight and Lucy. We have a full house. 3 dogs, 2 cats. And then the king and queen, me and Tom. Okay, so I want to thank you so much for being here. If this is your first premiere, make sure that you hit that live chat button and you come on over and you introduce yourself so that we can get to know you. We do this every day at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. It gives us a chance to swap creative ideas as well as keep in touch. And I can answer questions. I'm usually there in the chat. And so that is pretty awesome. We also have our Scrap All About It with Dear Julie Julie Facebook group. That is our hub of everything Dear Julie Julie. And we'd love to have you join us there. And don't forget, there is a free digital kit in the file section while we are home, safer at home. So let's get back to our program. Okay, so we still have 2 of these. And I'm thinking that we'll go ahead and add, what else do I have up here that I haven't shown you? Now I do have one really cool piece of this, okay? And I think I really want to use this in this journal, but I think that this is going to need to go on a piece of cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to put that back up in the little broken thing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add this little piece. So a piece of this gold to the edge. So we'll have some black on the edge and some gold on the edge, which will look really good with the cover. We'll have those pieces of the peach. And I may add some more of that to the edge to bring in the colors that are actually in the journal. Okay, so you do not have to add edges, but what you have to do is you have to change your what your paper looks like. Okay, I wanted edges. So I'm just giving you several ideas here of how you can change what your paper looks like, what your page looks like. Okay. Okay, on the other one, we did the outside. This one, we're going to do the inside. Okay, so we get that. And then we have this stamp. I still don't see the stamp cover. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we have this stamp that we've been using. I'm going to put that on this last page. Okay. Make sure there's nothing underneath you when you're stamping. It can ruin your whole day. Okay, so I had this little mishap here, and I can go ahead and add the washi. Again, don't want anything left over. Okay, where is our stamp? Okay. Okay, so it'd be easier if I looked at it from... So this is the other side of the moon, I think. Oh, this shows the eclipse of the sun and the moon. This one here. I'm so glad I had this stamp set. Okay, whoop. And I have a word. Soulful. Soulful. So that gives me that. And cover. Okay, so I have changed my pages. Okay, so I had this and I've added my edge. I added stenciling, stamping and washi. Okay, so that gives me that set. Then our graph paper, we did stenciling and stamping. Ledger paper, we added this edge. And I think we should go ahead and do some stenciling on this also. Maybe the stars, because we... Okay. So there we go. We added some stenciling. So we have the really cool edge and the stenciling to that one. And you see this one does fall. It's going to be inside. So I just have to decide if I want, yeah, I kind of like the idea of Yep. So we'll be folding this on this line. Okay, so the first dark line is where I'm going to fold it on mine. I have the ledger, the 4-column ledger from Staples. Okay, so there's my lined pages. There's my graph page, line page, my ledger, the mini ledger. Okay, and we could do something to that. Then we have the, well, this is my noisy paper. Okay, and we added that, and then we added the edge. Okay, so we ripped it, and then we distressed the edge. Added washi, a stamp, some distressing, then stars, and then the moon and the black edge. Okay, so we're going to get some things happening here off the outside, which is kind of fun. And then having texture, I think, is fun in a journal, especially a theme journal, if it's going to work with the theme. Okay, so that's what we have going on there. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'll be doing the same thing again for the other one. Oh, I did have one other thing I wanted to add. So I think there was a page here that didn't have, yeah, okay. So it was, so go on this side, okay. And I have the glitter tissue paper. And I'm going to go ahead and rip myself off an edge. Okay. This will give me a piece that I can use somewhere else in the journal. I might even just put a piece of this tissue paper because it's pretty strong. I might put a piece of the tissue paper in the journal. Okay, so here we're going to go ahead and just add an edge. And we added a tissue edge in, I think it was the folio journal in the insert for the Dad's Bank envelope. I did add the edge. Okay, so this obviously is not going to come all the way down to the bottom. So I'm going to fix that with, you got it, some washi tape. Washi tape and lace are the fixers of all, or probably most mistakes anyway. Okay, so I do need to find some more of my favorite washi. Okay, so there's that. I'll put that right over here. Okay, so we'll just wait for that to dry. I'm going to go ahead and cut this edge off down here. I went ahead and wanted it flush with the edge. Okay, so that gives us another edge for this. And remember, I can always turn these pages around if when I get in the journal, you know, I want them to be like that. And I can trade off because maybe I want the gold with that. So, but I have my 8 pages, my 4 form or different kind of pages, and my 4, I did the composition book. You can do copy paper or avocado dyed or any kind of dyed paper for that. And then you just go through and change them. So that is our mini challenge in the challenge. You are changing paper, okay? And you are changing 8 pages, okay? And I gave, you need to do at least, use at least 4 different things, 4 different mediums or items. So we use several here. We've got stamps and stencils, and so stamps counts as 1, stencils counts as 1. So even though I used 3 different stamps, it's still 1. I used stamps, I used stencils, I used your trims can, as long as they're different, they can each count singly. Okay, so this can count singly. Ripping it, that counts as 1. Okay, so so I used stamps, I used stenciling, I used washi. I ripped, I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different edges. Okay, 6, because we also use the tissue edge. So 6 different edges. So that should give you some ideas on how to do this, and I hope this helps you finish your journal or gives you some ideas for ones that you have coming up. Don't forget to go watch one of these videos. It really does help my channel. And also, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Don't forget to come back and comment on this video after you've watched it, so you can get into the randomality. And what else? Find something to celebrate. Have a great day. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye.